Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 2 for CCC Aura 0278. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Yanelin Castro. Ms. Castro, your full name is Yanelin Castro?
Yeah. Yanelin. Yanelin.
Yanelin? Okay, Yanelin Castro. Ms. Castro, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Castro, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Ms. Castro, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Castro? You doing great? That's good. Ms. Castro, I have before me 2 documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Or are these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney? I also have another document that's titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature? Ms. Castro, before you signed and initial these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Castro, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. An attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Jack Lawrence. Attorney Lawrence will give him information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once you get the information from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that first chair by the wall. Next case is cause number 23CC Sierra 1174. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Devontae Jamal Simmons. Mr. Simmons, would you please come forward? Mr. Simmons, your full name is Devontae Simmons, Jamal Simmons. Simmons, would you please raise your right hand? Simmons, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Simmons, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Simmons? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Simmons. I have before me 2 documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? Yes. And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant? Yes. And are these your initials on the line that state that you would like to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself? I also have another document. This document and I need to erase something. The second document that I have is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature online as titled Defendant? Mr. Simmons, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents? Do you understand what you read? Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Simmons, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. Excuse me. I I've read your answers. Based on your answers, you'll have an opportunity to talk to the prosecutors about your case. And so you can just have a seat, wait for prosecutors to call your name. Once they call your name, they'll come out and talk to you. They need this.
Okay.
Okay. Court is in session in call number 23 CCCR 0256. Case is style of state of Texas versus Richard Garcia. Mr. Garcia, your full name Richard A. Garcia? Mr. Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Garcia, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Garcia? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Garcia, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And on the next document, well, on the same document, there's a signature at the bottom of the line, above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And at the top of this document, down here, also, it states that you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself.
Yes, sir.
He didn't fill out a waiver. He filled out the affidavit. She's gonna give you a document to sign and read and sign. Just have a seat in your chair. We'll call you back up. Next case, let's see, we got Devontae Simmons. Already called Devontae. Isaiah Martin. Okay. So, okay. Okay, Mr. Martin, would you please raise your right hand? You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Mr. Martin, you may put your hand down. Mr. Martin, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Can you recognize this document? Yes. And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Yes. And you made your change here, and now your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney. Is that correct? I also have another document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries. You recognize this document? On page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Signature. Is this your signature? Yes. Mr. Martin, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents? Yes. Did you understand what you read? Yes. And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Yes. Okay, Mr. Martin, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you is Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc will be given information to contact you. You will also be given information to contact him. But before I give you that information, the bailiff is going to hand you a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit, that's titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go over this document with you, and it reads as follows. Following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol. And the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense. The defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. You understand that condition? Now, condition number 4 does not apply. However, on the next page, condition number 5 and 6 shall apply. 5 and 6, but 5 and 7 shall apply. And it reads as follows: defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 1.07 Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 7 also applies, that says that the defendant shall wear a global positioning monitoring system, which is a GPS device, at the defendant's expense with written verification being submitted to the court within 3 days. Do you understand that?
What is that?
That's a GPS, is an ankle monitor. Okay?
Why is, I'm not understanding why am I getting an ankle monitor for?
These are your bond conditions. You charged with the offense of harassment. Okay? Now, and one of your cases is harassment.
Yeah.
Now, you need to get proof to the court within 3 days. Our court coordinator is going to she can give you some information as to where the device can be obtained, and she can give you the information to either email the information to us verifying that you have the ankle monitor. And now, if you violate any one of these bond conditions, your bond will be revoked, and your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand that? Okay. So have a seat in that first chair on the wall. Once you finish here, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Here you go. Okay, next case is cause number 24CCCR 0128, 01218. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Dominique Stewart. Okay, Mr. Stewart, your full name is Dominique Stewart. Stewart, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Stewart, do you swear affirm and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Stewart, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Stewart, you previously came up and you acknowledged that these are your signatures and your initials on judge's explanation of rights to defendants without attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And now you made some adjustments to Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this form?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant's signature. Is this your signature?
Correct.
Now, Mr. Stewart, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read?
Sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Stewart, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you do not meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And at this point, you have 2 options regarding your right to have an attorney. You can either ask that your case be reset to hire your own, see if you can hire your own attorney, or you can waive your right to an attorney, that is, give up your right to have an attorney and to represent yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to hand this document to the bailiff, who's going to hand it back to you. You can have a seat in that chair. Give him a pen so that you can make your choice, and then we'll call you right back up. Richard Garcia. Okay, now, Mr. Garcia, I have before you were, I'm gonna swear you in again. Mr. Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Garcia, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Garcia, you may put your hand down. Mr. Garcia, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Now, Mr. Garcia, you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line inside the defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line that state you would like to waive your right to an attorney to represent yourself? I also have another document that is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering Guilty Plea Proceeding in Trial. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Garcia, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Garcia, just have a seat, and one of the prosecutors is gonna come out and talk to you about your case. You can go back and have it. Okay, just next, may you finish with that document? Okay, the court will be in recess.
After I get there, it might be like 18 or whatever like that. With the 60 hours, we paid it in 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay, but I mean, I calculated what your income is. And I looked at this, I mean, I don't know, I mean, you said,
How's that 6,000?
hmm,
How's that 6,000?
if you make 60 hours a week, well, I mean, we on YouTube, but, Jefferson County Court Alert number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number 24-CCCR 0268. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Adrian Martin Aguilar. Adrian Aguilar was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m. The court's bailiff called the name of Adrian Aguilar at the courthouse door. Adrian Aguilar did not answer. Adrian Aguilar has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:23 p.m. on today's date of April 30th, 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Adrian Aguilar at the courthouse door? Adrian Aguilar's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Adrian Aguilar did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Adrian Aguilar an opportunity to appear in court. Adrian Aguilar has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
State moves for bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Adrian Aguilar's bond will be forfeited, and a bond shall be, and a warrant shall be issued in cause number 24-CCCR 0268. Next case is cause number 24-CCCR 0298. The case is filed in the state of Texas versus Brianna K. Haynes. Brianna Haynes was scheduled to be in court for arraignment on today, April 30th, 2024 at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Brianna Hayes at the courthouse door. Brianna Hayes did not answer. Brianna Hayes has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:20 p.m. on today's date. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Brianna Haynes at the courthouse door? Brianna Haynes' name was just called at the courthouse door. Brianna Haynes did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Haynes an opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
State moves for bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Brianna Haynes' bond will be forfeited and the warrant should be issued for arrest and cause number 24-CCCR 0298. Next case. Oh, that was dismissed. Okay, this will conclude the calling of the court's arraignment docket, or the bond forfeitures on the arraignment docket. The court will be in recess. And pull your pants up. Yeah, nobody want to see your underwear. You got Guess we're gonna have to start getting some belts. Okay, now, Mr. Simmons, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Simmons, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Simmons, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Simmons? You doing all right? Okay, now, Mr. Simmons, I have before me in cause number 23-CCCR 1174, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Mr. Simmons, do you recognize this motion? And is this your signature on the line that is titled defendant? Mr. Simmons, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Mr. Simmons, do you want the court to forfeit this weapon to the Texas Department of Public Safety? Okay, Mr. Simmons, the court is going to grant this motion. And I've just signed the motion to to forfeit this weapon to the Texas Department of Public Safety. State, do you have an additional motion?
I have a motion to dismiss as well submitted.
Okay, now, Mr. Simmons, I have before me a motion to dismiss the case in cause number 23 CCCR 1174. I'm signing this motion. That was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Okay. Mr. Simmons, I just signed this motion to dismiss this case. You will be able to get a copy of this motion in about 1 minute from our court coordinator. And once you get the copy of the motion, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. All right. You can stand right here and get your copy. That's it. You're free to go. You have a blessed day. Yeah.
Because they didn't have a bond on this case, they tied the wrong bond.
So Haynes,
So it's gonna be an at-large without bond.
okay, Haynes is not a bond forfeiture. Haynes is not a bond forfeiture. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 24 CCCR 0256. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Richard A. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, is that your full name? Mr. Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Garcia, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Garcia, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Garcia? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Garcia, I have before me now, Mr. Garcia, you have a right to have a court reporter to type down everything that's being said. You also have a right to waive your right to have a court reporter. That means you have a right to give up your right to have a court reporter. Do you understand that? Do you waive or give up your right to have a court reporter? You waive it? Okay. Now, Mr. Garcia, I also have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line entitled defendant? And are these initials on the line that state you like to waive your right to attorney and represent yourself? I also have another document entitled Waiver of Counsel for Purpose of Entering a Guilty Plea. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Garcia, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? All right, we'll proceed. Mr. Garcia, I also have before me on the computer a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet is filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And in this information, it alleges that you, Richard Garcia, on or about December 26th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. Mr. Garcia, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Garcia, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Garcia, I also have before me on the tablet a document that is titled, a document, that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature, well, two sets of signatures. The first set is on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? The second set of initials are below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment. It is next to a statement that reads as follows: I do not request discovery of evidence. I waive my right to request discovery of the evidence in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or nolo contendere. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? And now, Mr. Garcia, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? Did you? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Garcia, are you a citizen of the United States? Okay. State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Garcia, the state is offering State's Exhibit number 1 to be used as evidence against you in this case. State's Exhibit number 1 is the first document that I showed you on this tablet right here, Mr. Garcia. It is the same document that have your initials, that has your initials on page 2 in the 2 locations. And it has your signature on page 3. The state would like to use this document as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case? Okay. No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Garcia, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Is there any evidence that says that you are incompetent? There's none? Okay. Mr. Garcia, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For plea of no contest, the state is offered 1 year deferred probation with the fine waived, 50 hours community service, and forfeiture of the firearm.
Okay. What is the court cost?
277.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Garcia, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine because the fine will be waived. You will be required to pay court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $108 per month. Will you be able to pay the $108 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 50 hours of community service. As part of this plea bargain, state that the state has offered to you, you're required to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department. I have in my hands a motion to forfeit that weapon. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line as title defendant? And do you want the court to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department. Okay, the court is granting this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department. Now, Mr. Garcia, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in this case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Garcia, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Garcia, this will conclude your case. If you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction in your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about you can talk to a attorney. You can talk to an attorney about the non-disclosure, and they will be happy to tell you what you need to do in order to get a non-disclosure. Now, before you leave and get sign your documents and get your fingerprint, I need to go over a document that is titled Model Written Admonition on Eligibility to Possess a Firearm Ammunition. That's the document that is in front of you. And it reads as follows: in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order or judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013, A, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or carry firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or carry firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, Unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, Unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse and neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Penal Code Section 85.026, warning on protective order. Now, Mr. Garcia, the written admonition that is in front of you is for your records. This will conclude your case. Please stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following their directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. And this will conclude the calling of the court's docket, the Raymond docket, on today's date of April 30th of 2024 in County Court at Law Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.
You as well, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. And prosecutors, you're excused.
Thank you.